YouTube, welcome back to part two of the Kyren Lacy case. Um, Pick back up where we left off. Can you hear the sound?
I
The
can't
data
hear nothing.
shows
Now,
2.99 seconds before that he was traveling 28 miles an hour. The data shows that. Now he corroborates that. And he goes on to say, I didn't even make a skid mark. That woman
Come on, man.
behind me, she caused that accident. And you give me
is it playing? Oh, you changing the speed?
this statement that is refused. I got a problem.
So I guess the gold truck guy's wife wrote it. If I were to guess, remember he said his wife was going to do it on the video, and she refused to sign it, which is a red flag. As a witness, you have the right to refuse to sign a written statement, especially at the scene of an accident. Possible reasons include disagreement with the written account. You may disagree with how the police officer summarized or transcribed your account of the crash. You may be worried that the statement could be used against you or another party in a way you do not intend. Or this officer wrote this shit.
I got a problem with that. A big one. What he's saying is she had to avoid hitting him. He specifically stated she caused that accident, but I've got an affidavit for arrest warrant right here. Nowhere in here does it say anything that you guys just saw on body cam. To the contrary, about that vehicle, it says the gold truck took evasive action by emergency braking and driving off the roadway to avoid a head-on crash.
What?
But you just heard he said, I wasn't even going fast. I didn't even skid mark. So what emergency braking are we referring to here?
Wasn't he going 20 miles per hour? That's horseshit.
And what the hell was the point of this report? That is complete opposite.
So let's read this. Highway 20, green Charger coming head on, passing multiple cars coming head on. I had to slam on the brakes to avoid accident. I had to veer off road to avoid getting hit. Then I stopped to check on the cars behind me in the wreck. I was traveling north. The Charger was traveling south in wrong lane, 92 yards away.
She didn't saw what was happening. That's how she called that wreck. And she was running in the back of me. She pulled on the other side, and that's not in it.
So, but the Charger was coming right at you,
Right,
correct?
right.
And that's why you had to
Head
slam
on
on your
with
brake, head on with you. So yeah, just make sure you include that, and that's very important because we're trying to locate this Charger right now. So just include that in the statement, and I'll read it over, and then I'll be out of here. Okay.
By the way, the body cam wasn't on for this statement. It was turned off.
This is all on so many levels wrong. I don't understand. I don't. That is awful that
Mhm.
they conjured up a police, supposed to be a witness statement. They, in a sense, told him what to write, and they fabricated everything. So if regular citizens can get arrested for filing a wrongful police report and they're lying, I'm like, what standards are the police officers being held up to? That's crazy.
Ain't no amount of I'm trying to think what's the right amount of money, but
It
ain't no
ain't
right
enough.
amount of money.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, their families. I mean, of course, like we said last night, it ain't gonna bring um Kyron back. I mean, but if it was me, I would sue. I would try to go to legislation and get some type of law in his name about them body cams need to be on as soon as the police officers put them things on and they don't have access to turn them off because this clearly shows bits and pieces of what they wanted to be recorded. They chose to turn it on. How you gonna not turn on your camera when you're actually going over everything with an eyewitness? That's crazy. And a good 30, wasn't it a good 30 minutes or so not recorded? of questioning and stuff.
I don't know if it was 30. I thought it was like less than that. Like first 4 minutes weren't recorded or something like that. I don't know.
Well, some of it was clearly left out.
Mm-hmm.
Before obtaining this statement, and this is what we get back in a file. This is where Kyren passed, right? He comes here, he passes. He gets back in his lane.
Okay, so these are the 4 cars he passed north, and he's traveling south. He's traveling this way, obviously.
Don't you know that one of these witnesses that's in this package actually says in his statement that the Charger passed through the vehicle of Mr. Hall and the gold truck and vehicle 2, and then they collided. I can't make this up.
That witness is on fucking drugs. What are they saying? He was so far behind the accident, he did not pass through the cars to cause the accident. This is why witness testimony can be picked apart by lawyers in court, bro.
This is what people just don't get to see. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm not saying this intentional. I'm saying people commit to a story and they don't back down. You saw it here, but I'm telling you, you guys saw a video. You just saw a statement where somebody tells them what to say. They tell them that's not what happened. They still give me the statement.
He's not wrong. This is ridiculous. I can't believe they charged him with this.
And now I got another individual who we won't harp into here because it's so uncredible, right? That one individual, one of the 4 individuals here, they say that they were going 30 to 35 miles an hour when Kyren passed him. He did. There's no disputing that. No one ever did, but he was back in his lane of travel. 92.3 yards back in. 72.6 at the time of impact. When they collide, he is 72.6. Before they collide, he is almost a football field away back in his lane.
I love how he's saying football field too. It's like the easiest way to really get the grasp of how far that is. The pass was 92 yards away. Even in a car. I know people are saying it's in a car. The people he's passing are going 30 miles per hour.
That's not disputed. What you can see is another car come to a stop, and then Kyren Lacy come to a stop. But you know what's really interesting to me as well is that there was another passenger in Kyren Lacy's car. They knew this. They have video footage of this individual getting out of the car. Why didn't you ascertain his identity? Why would you not want to hear the person with the...
It was somebody in a car? I did not know that.
Y'all just want to piss me off this weekend. I see.
I did not know
I
that.
see what's going on.
That is crazy.
So what are we supposed to believe now? Like, because obviously Trump been right about something. Fake news. Fake news is everywhere.
Mm,
What is we supposed to believe?
wow.
And they need to
Mm.
do a deep dive on that county, on that police department,
Mm.
because they blatantly covered this up or tried to. What else have they gotten away with?
Mm. That's why I said last night they need to investigate that department. They do. I'm pretty sure that, and that's what the issue is. It's stuff like this, and then I'm pretty sure people then got stopped before, got tickets before, and probably got, sent to jail behind police officers fabricating and having witnesses write stuff down as statements that's coming from them, and you don't get people saying refuse. They probably just write it down and keep going. But it is officers on the force that do this.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
One of the best views of this incident. Why would you make a call? Why would you simply not bring him in for questioning?
Probably because it didn't fit their narrative, or I would imagine that guy didn't want to speak to the police. Probably Kyren's friend or family member. They're probably like, fuck this.
So you talked to him after?
Of course I talked to him after. It's exactly what they said.
Yeah.
It's exactly what they said. Mm-hmm. They actually thought at one point in time that she collided with the gold truck. That's the very first thing they told me, that they thought that this vehicle 2, was trying to get around the 2. as in slide between them, as in, uh-oh.
Dude, I think the girl behind the gold truck caused this accident. Like, straight up, that's what it seems like. She had Funyuns, and she swerves left out of nowhere into oncoming traffic.
The very last line of the report from the district attorney's office says, the evidence submitted in the crash report does not support that Kyren Lacy should have known that his actions were the cause of the crash that happened approximately 72 yards in front of him.
So why was he charged? What the fuck is this? That basically just says he's innocent right there.
And what we know is we never disputed ever that he passed those vehicles. They were in a row, 4 vehicles in a row. We know they were going 30 to 35 miles an hour. He passed them. It was a no passing zone, but he got back in 92.3 yards. He was back in his lane of travel. He was 72 yards behind at the time of impact. We know that now. He was actually the second car to pull up behind, not even the first. At no point in time did he have to slam his brakes. He wasn't even close to the second car.
Dude, this is bullshit. How was he charged for this? If this actually went to trial,
That's
he would have been
what I was
acquitted.
getting ready to say. How was he charged? What was he charged with? I mean, and then obviously his car did not have no damage to it. So I'm like, I'm baffled. I'm baffled. I ain't gonna lie. I know that it will not bring their child back, their son, their grandson, their nephew, brother, cousin, sister, uncle, whatever. But all the police department from that city will all get sued. And I would not take no settlement.
Charges that were filed: negligent homicide, felony hit and run with death, reckless operation of a vehicle.
How when his car wasn't even near the accident? And then, but wait, they didn't even give him a ticket or anything for going in the no pass. Because didn't he say that was in a no pass zone area?
Yeah.
So they didn't even give him a ticket for that. And then technically, if that's what possibly caused the wreck, that he was, allegedly to be the person that caused it, where's his ticket for that? Because that should be the root cause that possibly caused the wreck.
So quick.
He just eased in. He eased in. He went straight from there to the facility in Trevor for his football practice.
Now, he should have probably stopped and checked on people.
He had no idea he caused this accident because he didn't think he caused the accident. He didn't cause the accident. Did he? Did he just get through and take off like they suggested? You and I read reports earlier. We're looking at old news reports where they say he actually collided with a vehicle.
It did.
They actually said he fled a scene. They actually said he came back to the scene. Do you know how preposterous that is? None of that's true. And he sure as hell never split the difference and barely got through, and then there was some big explosion. That's not what happened. Kyren Lacy passed 4 vehicles. There's no question, in a row. Nobody ever disputed that. But it's now undisputed that he got back in. 92.3 yards. Now, interestingly enough, the report indicates that at 120.4 yards, he was already entering back into the lane, right?
120 yards, he was already getting back in the lane after passing in the pass zone. 120 yards, that's a full football field, including the end zones.
They reference that is they say in this report, the district attorney's office, their investigation yielded that at that time, Kyren and vehicle number 2, all right, 1.5 seconds before the accident, or 120.4 yards apart.
So it said 120.4 yards, not feet.
All this is yards. This is not feet.
It's a big difference.
The only footage we have discussed, you and I today, is what's legally required when you pass a vehicle.
100 feet.
You have to be back in your lane of traffic 100 feet. He was over 300 feet. I'll be the first to admit that particular law does not say when you're in a no passing zone. Be clear. He passed 4 vehicles in a no passing zone. Never been disputed. Not once.
He definitely should not have been doing that. I may admit I've done that once or twice in my day, for sure. If there's a car going slow shit, but I don't think 4 cars. 4 cars is kind of crazy.
But the big narrative spun was, and this is very important, that he was actively passing at the time of this accident. That is extremely important.
He wasn't. He was back in the lane, wasn't he?
We know now that is 100% false. In the conclusion of the district attorney's report,
Okay, go ahead.
they state in here that they gave the impression that Kyren Lacy was actively passing vehicles when the crash occurred, which is incorrect. He did pass 4 vehicles, but was back in the southbound lane before the crash occurred. And now we know, according to this data, that was 72.6 yards as it's stated in this report.
This is mind blowing.
Enough started adding up to me to know that there were holes all over this thing, right? So it's the policy of the Lafourche Parish District Attorney's Office that all homicides go to a grand jury. We were nearing that grand jury, right? Where all of this was coming out. Everything I'm telling you now is going to be presented to a grand jury in a fair, neutral, and impartial manner. So, in my opinion, this never survives a grand jury. Never, never, ever survives a grand jury. We were 48 hours from that.
What the fuck, man? What was this argument with this family member, bro? This is so sad, bro. He should be in the NFL right now, practicing and playing a game in 2 days. That's pretty much the gist of this whole situation. I think this district attorney's office should be embarrassed for charging him, honestly. The only thing I can
That is ridiculous. I mean, from the first moment they even questioned, it was lies.
The police department's response, they maintained Lacy's reckless driving initiated the chain of events leading to the crash and emphasized his failure to stop.
Okay, but how are they gonna contradict their own how they gonna contradict? Who? I can't even talk. Who put in there that they did not find he was reckless? Was that the DA or who was that said that? In that
Yeah,
report
the DA.
so now the police officers is contradicting what the DA said?
Obviously, we saw it on the body cam. We saw it in the report.
Obviously they're gonna come back and lie because they're gonna have to try to protect their department and stuff, and that's another problem I don't care for with them. When they have officers that are in the wrong, they need to own up to it, accept accountability, and deal with it internally as far as disciplining them, suspending them, or whatever. Not this coming out talking to people like they too. And we can't hear and read and look at the video, and we ain't detectives or police officers, and we clearly see that all that was fabricated and lies. And we don't even need training to look at that and see that or hear any of this and say that he was nowhere near there. He wasn't even in the area. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's ridiculous. Yeah, that's sad. Prayers to his parents, but I mean his whole family, but parents especially, because and then my thing is now, how long ago did this happen?
Did it happen last year?
They had to grieve the loss of their son. Well, go through that with them, then grieve him taking his life, and then now being exposed to a lot of this stuff that they didn't try to cover up, and all the I mean, that's just crazy. That's crazy. So I'd been on CNN, MSNBC. I don't like Fox, but I would have been on Fox. I would have called, what's his name? That attorney Crump. Ain't his name Ben Crump? Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And get if I'm wait, listen, if I'm the Lacy family,
See, he can't even talk
second
either.
line and get every dime. I'm from the second line and get every dime, and I'm saying that in a respectful way because I can get my son back.
Oh no, he ain't
I
coming
can't
back.
get my son back. And y'all lied. You lied, and there was nothing anybody could tell him because everything I worked for, everything I
It's
worked
gone.
for has now going down the drain,
Yep.
which resulted in him taking his
Taking
life.
his own life.
Man, damn.
Onyx, get up here. He
It's,
didn't
it's,
fail.
it's, it's tough. This young man, his parents, grandparents, family, friends, loved ones, gone far too soon. Far too soon. Like you said, all this footage. I mean, everything's on video outside. Hell, you can't do anything.
Mm-mm.
I mean, they got at every traffic light, they got a thing. They get your plates going through and send you the thing in the mail. Send you the ticket in the mail, Ocho. They don't even come get you now, Ocho. They just send you the ticket in the.
If Kyren knew, man, that's not what happened. Check the cameras.
But they ain't trying to hear that because
Yeah.
Ocho, you know they
Mm-mm.
believe. Everybody says I didn't do it. In actuality, he didn't. And the thing is, Ocho, look, I want crimes to be solved.
Yeah.
But don't put this on somebody that, man. I mean,
I know one thing. The Lacy family need to get justice.
yeah.
Folk need to get justice. I'm telling you, you can't allow them to get away with something like this. A blatant lie like that. And that blatant lie not only ruined a childhood dream, but making that child take his life because it's something that he couldn't handle. No one
Yeah.
had nothing to do with this.
Mm-hmm.
And the media has painted a picture as if I'm this monster when I'm totally innocent.
Yep.
And what's so crazy is I think like earlier in the season, I don't want to speak wrong. Did he get like in trouble for like doing like celebrating like with pistols in the end
I
zone
don't.
gestures?
I don't. Mm, I don't know. Mm-mm. I don't know. That's terrible though. But yep, I'm with Chad. They family needs justice. And like I said, ain't no amount of money in the world can bring him back, but they need to get hit hard. That's ridiculous. And then it's blatantly out there. It's blatantly out there. It ain't like it's people hearsay and there may be officers speaking anonymously, putting out statements. No, it's blatantly out there and
Hmm.
on video, on the cam where the officers lying, and that's crazy.
He's supposed to be in the
Mm-mm,
league making millions.
mm-mm. And if I was
Well, they
his family, we would be getting our millions still because they will get hit hard.
the
All
gentleman
we,
was in the
all,
70s.
all we need to see was the footage.
Yeah.
All we need to see was the footage. And we wait until my young brother's gone. Come on.
Yeah. Because this was in April. This was in April. I mean, so you mean to tell me they just got that footage, all this footage, probably been it happened in December. Right.
All
So
that.
we coming up on a year, Ocho.
Come on now. Come
They got
on.
all that footage. It's hard for me to believe that ain't nobody looking at the camera. Ain't nobody looking at that footage until now.
The funny thing about it is they probably had no choice but to release it. They had somebody covering their you know what.
Yeah.
But they could only hide it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
They could only hide it for so long before somebody started sneaking and poking and finding the holes in the stories and saying, well, hold on now. Hold on.
I feel so bad
The
for his
camera,
family.
it's cameras everywhere, especially now,
Yeah, for sure.
satellite. Excuse me. Them,
Can they release the name of the vehicle too?
You said, can they release it?
Yeah, like why don't we know her name? Why don't we know she's eating Funyuns? What's her name?
I don't know. I mean, if she's of age because she's driving, so they
Because
can
I
release
ain't
her
gonna lie
name.
to you, I ain't gonna lie. She need to get backlash. She needs the same
But
backlash
no, but
Kyren
and
Lacy got.
I was going to say, in addition to the family suing the police department and the city and whoever the hell else they can sue as far as the state and the city, they need to be suing her. I don't like, I mean, I know they can't draw up no criminal charges, but they can sue her in the civil court. I would sue her too
I'm
because she
suing everybody.
lied.
I'm suing everybody for defamation, boy.
She
All the
lied. She
listen.
slandered.
Every or corporation, outlet, sports, whatever. If y'all posted something, we coming after y'all. We want all
Yeah,
the monions, and we ain't playing. So give it the funyuns, since y'all want to be funny and lie.
yeah, that's crazy. I'm with Chad.
Mm, mm, mm.
Them satellites
I
that
hope
sit.
it's an attorney reaching out to them, and it's just ain't made public yet, and they're
No, I ain't
starting
gonna
to.
lie to you. The whatever players that play with him at LSU and they in the league right now, hopefully they come together, get some bread, get with the family or get with some people in the league that they know that know some people and take care of the family, man.
Mm-hmm.
Coaches,
Yep.
people come together, help them out. Like, what y'all doing? Chad, Ocho, I know. Hey, y'all got the means to do it. Y'all got the
Mhm.
voice.
And I'm sure some attorneys then reached out to the family and is working or offered their services to take on their case. It just probably ain't been made public. And I wouldn't be surprised if Ben Crump ain't one of them, but I guarantee you you can't tell me it ain't no attorneys that didn't approach them to offer their services. So it'll probably be coming out here soon.
I'm
Now
suing
that the
everybody.
videos are circulating and all this stuff is coming out, I'm sure it'll be something.
And there has to be like there's so many things. Body cams have to be 24/7, no matter what
Hmm.
now.
And they
Because we
can't cut
don't
them
we
off.
don't know what happens when the shit we don't know if it's on, if it's not on. We don't know if it's is it recording audio?
Hmm.
We don't know when we get the actual body cam footage. Is it redacted? Is it edited? No, 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 no. We want to see that from when you
I
clock
even
in till you
think
clock out.
I even think when even with that, it needs to be something along the lines of nobody in that police force, sheriff, detective, or whatever their positions or titles are, nobody should be able to go in and view them by themselves. I think they need to put something in law to where it's like somebody that's not part of the department that has to sit in while they're reviewing the tapes.
I don't get why they
Because
don't have like a audit every month. Like, okay, we're gonna sit here and hire a company to review all our traffic stops, all our whatever, to make sure that we are compliant and
hmm
obeying the laws that we set upon public. Why don't we have shit like that to make sure our government is doing
hmm
right by us? Like, well, it's not us, it's the government. We can't government the government. So,
yeah.
ooh,
So they
man,
they need somebody in there when they going over them, especially when it's something like this. I don't know if the attorneys, I mean, but see, don't nobody know what happens to the tapes before the attorneys go in and request to see them. So that's why I said as soon as those there is an investigation or but see the thing is too, right after an accident and something happens like this, I'm sure somebody on that police force is already looking at them tapes so they can try to get ahead and get their story out. So I'm saying when something like this happened, they shouldn't even be able to have access to them. They need like an internal investigation department to where if something happened and the sheriff want to review the tape, he needs to go to them, put in the request, and they all be in there reviewing it together.
I can't believe y'all niggas.
Everything? Come on now. Stop playing. They turned off the body cam. You know what? Listen, I'm not a detective. This ain't First 48, so I'm not gonna act like I know what I'm talking about. Just based on the facts that what I've saw and witnessed so far, that family, they deserve justice.
They do.
That's it.
They do. I don't know. I don't know if there's a justice that you can get when a loved one is not coming back. The likelihood somebody serving time for that, maybe you can get hopefully you can get a monetary settlement. I don't think anybody's gonna probably serve jail time, Ocho. They never do.
Mm-mm.
Whoa. Of a blatant lie? The officer and the witness that made up the story?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, you got to serve something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely.
Look, you want to stop this kind of behavior. See, like when monetary settlements are done for like cities and counties,
Yeah.
it need to come out of the police fund, not taxpayers.
Well, that's gonna hurt, boy. That's gonna hurt.
Yep.
Yep.
And they gonna have to make an example out of somebody.
Yep.
They're gonna have to make an example out of somebody, because not only is the city or the police department gonna have to pay, that officer, the officer is gonna have to pay as well.
He'll go down and what you call him. He'll go down the street and get another job at another district, another town. That's all they do.
That's the thing.
Kick the can down the road.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't get no job in Las Vegas. I go down to Reno. Oh, my bad. I go to
Yeah.
Carson City.
Yes, sir.
But thoughts and prayers go out to his family and friends and loved ones, all those that knew Kyren Lacy. Hopefully, man, God give you strength, comfort, and understanding, because I'm sure there's still a grieving process.
Damn.
You don't get over something like this. You just get better at dealing with it. But now this opens it all up again, Ocho. Because, they're thinking my baby gone, and it didn't have to be.
Yep.
That's sad.
We was talking
And
about
all
Billy
based
Napier
on a lie.
And
And all based on a lie.
I bet you if the argument that they got into before he took his life was about them not believing him, if that was the case, I bet you they feel terrible now.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
2 days. What
I
pushed
want to
him?
know from the time this happened to the time that he unfortunately unalived himself, how much time went by?
The wreck happened in December. He unalived himself in April.
So you
But
mean to tell
from
me?
December till April, all you saw was him unaliving a man, got in a wreck and hit and run. You saw his mug shot. You saw the scouts not scouting him anymore. That's all you saw.
So that leads me to believe they didn't push stuff under the carpet, concealed it, and his attorneys had to fight to get certain pieces of evidence released, such as the body cam and getting copies of the police file. Because you can't tell me his attorney, if he had it, sat on this information all this time and just now bringing it out after his client unalived himself. No.
They wouldn't give it to him.
Mm-mm. Yeah, that's crazy. He probably kept having court appearances, schedulings, and they kept saying, we're gonna release the information, we're gonna get it, it's a process, da 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 da. His attorney waiting on it. He steady saying, I didn't do it, she lying, I didn't do it. And then he steady trying to get information and probably going back to the judge saying, well, they haven't released the information, need to push it out again. That's probably what happened.
Yeah,
And it doesn't take that long for these departments, sheriff's office and police departments, to hand over this stuff. Them judges need to say, you need to immediately hand it over, or say within the next 24 hours, I need it back in court, to where he can hand it over to the defendant's attorney. It shouldn't take that long to get that shit released. Wow. Prayers to his family for sure. I ain't gonna lie, that'd be my damn police department at the end of the day. His name would be on that police department. That's terrible.
Let us know what y'all think down in the comments. Um, don't piss me off, you will get blocked. Uh, man, this is sad.
I mean, they just got to look at it from the standpoint if it was one of their family members. And you're hearing all of this stuff now.
But no, because I had a conversation with a couple of my friends, and they happened to be from the other side of the tracks, and they was like, well, people don't bring up the fact that he let off a shot in the air and ran, and that's when the cops found him.
We
Like,
need to, how many minutes we got left? That needs to be part 3 tomorrow.
and I was like, man, how y'all just solely point out that one thing, but
Because they want to focus on the negative stuff. My
like,
whole thing was and that's what be pissing me off because they miss the freaking point of why was the freak he was arrested and charged with anything in the beginning. This was way before a gun went off or a shot in the freaking air. They don't understand that because it doesn't happen to them.
I think the family was trying to either they didn't believe him or he already made his mind up when they were trying to stop him from doing that. And he was like, oh, they're gonna convict me anyway. They ain't gonna believe me. Look how they paid me. That's probably what happened.
Yeah, probably. I mean, he was going through a lot and his back was up against the wall, just like Chad said. He didn't know what to do. And I'm sure it was a lot of fear and him being afraid and stuff as well. And then like, man, they raking me through the coal. I'm telling the truth. I didn't have nothing to do with this. And he felt like, not to say his family wasn't backing him, but I'm like, look at the media. His mugshot is on the media. He's plastered out there as this evil monster that did all of this stuff and it took somebody's life. So yeah, his back was up against the wall. And I'm just gonna keep it real. A lot of young black men know how the system is. So when they see the system doing this to them, they just like, oh shit, here we go. Got to fight to prove you're innocent